Okay, thank you, Kisley, for your kind presentation. Um, I think there are some students that wrote some questions. So if you
Okay.
can, okay, so the first question is there a special strategic importance of those territories, like any kind of resources or something? Do
Well,
you know about that?
yeah. So about the territories which are in dispute, if you see the map, so I am not sure about which territory you are asking, but if you will see the full map of India in my initial slides.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So this red region over here, this is an arid region. This is a desert, and this whole region not the whole blue region, but the surrounding regions over here. This is all desert. So economically, it has got no value. It is desert, mountainous region, but strategically, it has got a lot of value because this region could act as a buffer zone for India. As you can see, China, the main population of China lives around 3,000 kilometers from this region, but the population of India, dense population of India, lives in like a few hundreds of kilometers from here. So it is very important for us to save this region because this region acts like a buffer zone. Nothing grows, but militarily, strategically, this is very important. Now when you come here to this shaded region, Arunachal Pradesh, in the northeastern part of India, over here, if you can see my cursor, the shaded portion, here there is a big population living on over here, and the Indian position over here is also quite strong. So China doesn't want to touch this region. They touch this region in the north because China knows that India is having a weak situation in the mountains. So still, we don't have much infrastructure over there. China has got a very strong infrastructure over there. So China basically tries to push India in this region and not in this region because they know that we are stronger at this particular place. So this is all about the strategic importance. And as you can see, the border over here is comparatively calm, and there is no dispute over here. Not much dispute over here in this region. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you. There's a second question. Do you believe such military differences between China and India in the 1950s are still present nowadays?
Well, such military difference is not present. To be very honest, no political, no strategical analyst will say you that such difference is present because India, being a nuclear power, is itself a deterrence to Chinese aggression. So no country would try to lodge. No country would try to go into a full-fledged, all-out war because they are, of course, India and China. They have to think about their own population. But yes, if you see Chinese military power, then China is, of course, today stronger than India. Their military budget is very huge, at least 4 times than that of India. So China has an advantage, but it doesn't mean that if there is a limited war, then India cannot push back China. They will, of course, give a bloody nose to China, and it would be a very intense fight.
Okay, thank you. There's another question. Okay. It has been a very long conflict. How long will it take to have a final settlement? And wow, this is a very interesting question. Does Pakistan play any role in the two countries' tensions?
Well, so there are two questions that how long will it take? So it all depends on how long China wants to extend this conflict. Because from the Indian side, the conflict we have never been in the role of an aggressor, right from 1950s until now. We have never tried to enter into Chinese territory. India's position is clear that this is our territory and we are here. And basically, India wants to maintain the status quo. If there is a confusion, so both countries should talk. So it all depends on China that until when they want to extend this whole conflict, and until when they follow this outdated idea of Mao Zedong that in a medieval time China was a very powerful kingdom and it had control over all these Asian countries. So today also they want to have control. So this is all vague, stupid ideas. I don't know until when they are going to follow this, but of course, this conflict will be carried on until they follow it. And of course, one more thing: India needs to be strategically and militarily stronger so that China calms down a bit. And the next question about Pakistan is Pakistan. has ceded a small part of Indian territory to China. If you can, I will again show you in my map. This is the point which I did not talk to you about. The red portion over here, the small portion over here, you can see area ceded by Pakistan to China, claimed by India. So Pakistan and China are all-weather friends. They keep on exchanging resources. They keep on helping each other. China, actually, Pakistan is very small in comparison to India, and also militarily it is very weak. So, in a way, Pakistan doesn't directly help China because China doesn't need its help. But yes, there is a strategic partner for China on the west. What Pakistan can do at the time of war is that Pakistan can also wage a war on India when China does so. So it would be a two-front war for India and a very difficult situation for India to handle. So here the role of Pakistan comes into play. As you can see right now, the current skirmishes and current standoffs which are going on in between China. So Pakistan has also brought its troop on the western borders, and they have started shellings. There are everyday firings. Soldiers are being killed. So Pakistan has started its job.
Okay, thank you for your answer. ¿Alguien más tiene una pregunta? Los escucho hoy muy tímidos. ¿Qué pasa? Estefanía, ¿la escribe o habla con él? La escucho. ¿Cómo quiere? A student has a question, but I think she's going to talk. So,
okay,
give me 1 minute.
Okay, sure.
Here's a question. Are China and India economic allies?
Of course. We have a very huge volume of trade. As I informed you that we have a trade. The Chinese export to India, or what we import from India, is around 71 point something billion dollars, and our export to China is 16 billion dollars. So we have a good amount of trade going on, and we have also, there are many Chinese companies who have invested in India. There are Chinese tech companies, Chinese fintech companies, finance companies, infrastructure companies. So there is a huge lot of financial and economic activities going on in between China and India.
What's your point of view about the Silk Road? I mean, here they call it Silk Road, but it's the Belt and Road Initiative.
Okay, Belt and Road Initiative. Okay, so India has got a very clear position about Belt and Road Initiative. They officially they don't say much about it, but of course they are doing many things about it. So India, with countries like Japan, is trying to invest in these countries where China is investing. So Belt and Road Initiative is basically a debt trap that China is weaving for the countries to strategically and economically, financially give up to China. So India understands it very well. So India is in all ways trying to debunk Chinese move. And what India is doing, like for example, if China is building a port in Sri Lanka, India builds an airport in Sri Lanka. So this is how India is trying to tackle the Belt and Road Initiative. And my views is essentially the same as that of the Indian government. That is, it is a debt trap strategy of China, and a very bad strategy. I think it won't last for long. But I'm a bit more, I'm a bit frank about it. I'm very sorry for that. But yeah, this is how it works. So India is working with countries like Australia and Japan in order to invest in different countries where China is already investing to bring them in debt. So this is how India is trying to counter China.
Thank you. Okay, Estefanía, ¿esa era la pregunta? Okay, here's another question. What is your forecast about the Chinese string of pearls?
So basically what China is doing is they are building their military bases in countries like Djibouti, which is there located in the Indian Ocean, near the African continent. So this is they are doing this to encircle India in the Indian Ocean, because the presence of India in Indian Ocean is very strong at present. But the way Chinese Navy is growing, they are increasing their submarine power, and they are increasing their their Navy strength. So they are trying to basically counter India in the Indian Ocean. The reason behind this is because a lot of trade goes from that region, And what India and other countries are doing in South China Sea, they want to do the same uh, in in the Indian Ocean. So this is the idea behind building different bases in the Indian Ocean. So India is also having a very strong presence. As you know, that India is a very strong, very close strategic ally with Sri Lanka. It's neighboring country in the south, in the Indian Ocean. India has also got an overseas military base in Djibouti. Right now, India is having some pacts with countries like Australia, Japan, to have their logistics support. And in the times of war or at any particular point of time, India can use their bases for logistic support, their ports for logistic supports. So these kinds of things India are doing in order to counter. But it is true that the intensity in which China is planning and doing things, India is somehow lagging behind, and the Indian policymakers need to think very seriously about this, because by every passing day, they are becoming strong in the Indian Ocean. So we also have to go to that South China Sea to counter them over there, what they're doing over there in that 9 dash line.
Camilo Ernesto. Okay, here's the question. Besides the further Five Fingers disputes in autonomous regions in the Tibet aspect, do you think the quality of life in Tibet got better or worse after China's invasion?
Well, that is up to Tibetans to decide. So from my perspective, I can't say much about how Tibetans are doing, but of course, the Chinese have done a lot in terms of infrastructure over there in Tibet. As I have got some friends from Tibet, and they agree to this point that yes, the infrastructure has grown, has got better. So of course, when you give facilities and public facilities to a country, uh, the quality of life improves. But what is the major factor? The major factor here is that they are fighting for their freedom. They are not asking for quality of life, they are asking for freedom. And any country which is subjugated does not care about the quality of life. This is a way the other countries, the how do you say, the countries which the which captures other countries, they of course they try to give them public services, better public services, and all those things to lure them. They try to give them government jobs and all. So this is a very classic method that China is following. But Tibetans are actually not fighting for that. They're still not satisfied with the Chinese government, the way they are persecuting Tibetans, the way the Tibetans are living in India. There are hundreds of thousands of Tibetans who are living in India and who escape from China every year. They come, they take refuge in India, and they strengthen their government over here from India. So they are suffering a lot. I have got a friend who is like 20 since last 20 years. He hasn't seen his parents. So there is some sort of emotional as well as humanitarian concerns which lie in Tibet. The only thing that the quality of life is not the only thing that is into consideration in Tibet.
Okay. Your country offered their industrial facilities to mass produce the vaccine and to the
Yes.
United Nations.
Yeah.
Something
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Yes.
And
Yes. Yes. You're right.
my point is, if does it have anything to do with the rivalry with China? Because like China just is, is at this moment like trying to take the leadership with the process of dealing with the pandemic.
Yeah. Exactly. That is a very good question, and I think Daniel is a very active student in your class. I must
yeah, he
congratulate.
is.
Yeah. So yes, of course, India agreed. So you have got 3 points over here, which you said. Number one, India announced a vaccine production in August, but it couldn't happen actually, because Indian politicians were, they were just trying to, I think, divert the attention of the public from the mishandling that they're doing. And they said that they will prepare a vaccine. It was out of overconfidence, they said. But vaccines are not prepared so quickly. So of course, India is developing its own vaccine. And the second thing about the UN, India has it is with the UK, actually, United Kingdom, that AstraZeneca, a vaccine named AstraZeneca, is being developed by UK. So India has partnered with them, and they said that they will be mass producing that vaccine. So of course, India has the capability to mass produce the vaccine, because I think India also mass produced the vaccine of polio and other vaccines, I guess. So India has the capacity to mass produce, and of course, it would be in the advantage of India to mass produce vaccine before China does, because of two things. Of course, you can never trust an aggressor. You can never trust a country which is with which you are already almost in a war-like situation, that they will give you the vaccine if they develop the vaccine first. So if India manages to develop and mass produce the vaccine, it would be, of course, in the interest of India, and as well as other democratic countries of the world who are ready for an equitable distribution of the vaccine. So, and I think there is some sort of agreement that India will take 60% of the vaccine, and UK will take 40% of the vaccine. So this is going on. So it would be in the interest of India. And in international relations, there is always a rivalry between between two states which have some conflicts. So your point is, your conviction is true, that yes, rivalry may come in the way. I agree to that point.
Okay, thank you. Gracias, Daniel. ¿Alguna otra pregunta?
And one more point I would like to add, that this all things are related to national security. Martha understands it very well, because I am sure that she has read national security stuffs very well. So these all things are related to national security. Vaccine, it is related to the security of your people. So of course you cannot trust on a country like China for these things. Yes, sorry to interrupt, Martha.
No. Go on. Listo. ¿Alguien más tiene una pregunta sobre el tema que expuso Kisley, o bueno, otro comentario adicional? Recuerden que a las 3:30 tenemos nuestro break, y pues él ya debe pues dejarnos de nuestra sesión, porque pues es como la 1, casi 2 de la mañana en India. Entonces me da pena con él. Y bueno, creo que eso sería todo. ¿Alguien más? Las chicas, ¿dónde están las mujeres? No me han hablado hoy. Estefanía. Ok. What about maritime conflicts? Kisley, what do you think is more usual? That people from India want to learn English and try to get involved with USA, or that they prefer to learn Chinese and get involved with China?
Okay, that's a good question. So regarding this, the first question about the maritime conflicts. Well, India right now, the Indian Navy is strong. It's not bad, but of course, all the maritime fight with India will happen in the Indian Ocean. So we are significantly developing our capability in the Indian Ocean, but still we are lacking. So the Indian government is actually working in that direction. They are having military exercises like Quad. If you know about it, Quad is a group of 4 countries: United States, Japan, Australia, and India. We keep doing naval exercises. We have naval exercises with Japan. We do naval exercises with the United States. We do naval exercises with, I think there was one naval exercise where Philippines was also involved. So we are trying to develop our capability, and we are certainly trying to have more pacts and agreements with the countries in the Indian Ocean. Now, when you come about maritime conflicts, in the recent past, we haven't seen any such conflicts. When you talk about Indian Navy is active, of course, but there has been no such conflict. But if there would be a conflict, if there would be conflict today, it would be it would be in the favor of India. But we can't say about tomorrow. The increasing Chinese influence is going to give a tough time, maybe not only to the India, but to whole world, as you know. But yes, the countries are coming together for protecting their maritime boundaries.
Okay.
And regarding the English thing, so of course, actually, English is a common language in India. It's not a foreign language anymore in India. It is being taught to students in kindergarten, right from kindergarten. In case of me, I started learning English from kindergarten, and many of the parents also nowadays, they talk to their children in English. So it's kind of a second language in India. So of course, Indians, the new generation, of course, will grow with English. So they are anyways, we are anyways close to United States and countries like UK, thanks to Britishers, that they were here for 200 years and all they gave us was English. So So yeah, so this is how we are, of course, close to them. But in terms of China, yes, we need to work more to study Chinese language. There are a few universities from where I studied, they were teaching Chinese. I could not take it, unfortunately. But yes, we in our schools also, the previous government, the Congress government previously, they had introduced Chinese language, but this government, I don't know why they stopped Chinese studies in high schools. So studying China is very important to understand China and to fight China. So I am very much hopeful that the government will have some, some good sites that they can introduce Chinese studies in India. Right now, the situation about Chinese studies is not very good, to be honest.
Okay, thank you. ¿Alguien más? Daniel, what border is more dangerous, the Pakistani or Chinese? It's an interesting question.
Well, that's a very broad question. So, more dangerous in terms of what? That is a very difficult question to answer. But when you talk about danger, you talk about their military strength, or you talk about the topography, the plains, the hills, the mountains. What sort of border is that? So, when you take all into consideration, the Chinese border is difficult. The Chinese border is difficult because of course, Chinese are stronger than us, but also the topography is also very difficult. The mountainous regions are tough to fight. In case of Pakistan, we have Pakistan, since Pakistan got partitioned from India right in 1947. We have always had fights with Pakistan. We have always had wars with Pakistan. So we have prepared ourselves very well for Pakistan. So Pakistan today is not such an aggressor where India would feel uncomfortable with. But of course, China is an aggressor with which India will feel uncomfortable. So in that sense, I would say that yes, India needs to work more on Chinese border, and since there more things have to be done on Chinese border, that border is a bit more dangerous than the Pakistani border, because we have a way out with Pakistan. Is a very friendly relation of arms, ammunition, missiles, and we have had all sorts of wars with Pakistanis, so we know how to deal with them. But with Chinese, it's going to be difficult for India. So yes, Chinese border is more dangerous.
I have a question about how did the, I don't know, maybe the young population reacted on the government banning with TikTok and WeChat, or the Weibo, and those types of apps that
Yeah.
were blocked from India. Do you think those were like widely used between the population, or it was more like minor factor of the population that used those type of apps? Well, besides TikTok, that one was very popular.
Okay, so that's a good question, Ernesto. So, yes, there was a chunk of young population who were using TikTok, and they were very sad when TikTok was got blocked. But I think it was in terms of national security, it was important decision. It was a good decision. I appreciate that decision, because the next fight in the world is the fight of technology. If you are stronger in technology, then you can rule the world. So basically, countries today, what you can see, the 5G, the all the battle going about 5G is all about technology, right? So if you see your question regarding the views of Indians, so as I said, that there was a small population who were using this app, got angry, they were dissatisfied, they were sad. But big population understands that this was important, that this was a very important, because Chinese cyber warfare is also growing day by day, and it is a big threat for countries like India. So yeah, so this is all I would like to say.
Okay, thank you. Bueno, nos quedan 8 minutos antes de salir a break. Ah, Julián tiene una pregunta. Julián. Okay. In terms of foreign policy, how does the India's government sees the future U.S. elections?
Well, US elections are, of course, a very important event in India, and in fact for the whole world. Right now, as we are seeing the spate of ultra right-wing politics in United States, many Indians, they do want Trump. They do want that Trump goes, to be honest. But the Indian government, since in India also we are having an ultra rightist government at present, so I believe, and my analysis says that Mr. Modi, the current Prime Minister of India, being an ultra rightist, somehow happens to appreciate Mr. Trump and his politics. It's not just because of their political ideology, but it is also because of how Trump has been against China. And since it lies in the interest of India, that there is a country which is against China, which is against Pakistan, Indian government at present would say that yes, Trump may continue. But at the same point of time, if you see economically and financially, Trump has tried to destroy the whole world by increasing the taxes, by the trade war, and by such policies which have affected the Indian markets as well. And also the Indian diaspora living over there in United States. Americans, they are trying to now push them back to India, as you know that they are having a strong protectionist policies where they don't want outsiders to come. So this is happening, and the Indian Americans living over there, they also want now Trump to go. So Indian government must be having because any government doesn't show it, right? Any government doesn't show it, but yes, there is a soft corner for in BJP government, in the current Indian government, for American government, for Trump government. But let's see what happens. If Joe
Okay,
Biden comes, yeah.
Okay, we have another question. This will be the last question. So the last question, in terms of national unity, how well is India organized? I ask because I know inside of India there are a lot of different subcultures.
Okay, so when you talk about unity, India is in terms of national unity. Well, it's a very subjective topic. Like national unity could be defined in various ways, but India being a democratic country, it is very important that there should be different voices in a big country like India, because India has the pluralism that you see in India today, the diversity that you see in India today. There are thousands of languages, thousands of sects, hundreds of castes, several religions in India, and it's a unique land with a unique set of population. So if there are if there are varying religions, languages, cultures, festivals, there would be some conflicts, and it is very obvious. If you are talking about the government sponsored conflicts and the divisive policies that the Indian government today has, the state sponsored divisive policies. So if you are talking about that, I would say yes, it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous because the current government somehow claims itself to be a Hindu nationalist government, which we are completely against of, and we don't want these divisive policies to rule over India, and this is creating a problem in the Indian society for sure. Rest, if you talk about as you said that you know something about India, so I'm sure that you must be knowing about the political upheavals and the policies the political classes nowadays trying to take in order to support a few few groups in India. It is of course dangerous. Otherwise, if you see the national unity among the people, it's all right. It's all right. It's not that bad. But the hatred among the communities, among especially the communal hatred in the religious communities, is gradually being fueled by the government. I can say it on record without any fear, without any hesitation. So that is my answer. I hope you got my answer. I mean, you are satisfied with this answer.
Okay. Gracias, Valeria, por la pregunta. Bueno, espero que esta primera parte de la clase haya sido interesante para ustedes. Tenemos nuestro break, entonces nos vemos acá a las 3:45. Voy a ir a tomar un tinto y no sé, despídense. They're gonna say bye.
Goodbye, Tilly. Thank you very much.
Bye,
That's
Tilly.
very
Thank you.
interesting.
Bye. It was really interesting having you today.
Thanks for your time. Kiss, bye.
Thank you. Hope to see you guys again. Yep.